Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. On the last video we saw how the Back4app MCP can connect to your Back4app account, create code for you and even build fully working applications with just one single prompt. Now what if you already have a fully working application running in Back4app? Can it still help you? Let's take a look at it. Now, before we start asking the AI and the MCP to start changing your code, there are some precautions you gotta take. You gotta remember that the AI and the MCP are very smart, but there is always a risk it could break the code and break the production environment. So you never want to run it directly in production. You should clone your application to a staging or development one, get the MCP and the AI work on that copy, and once it's working there, then move it to production. I'll guide you how to do it. So here I am at my Back4app dashboard where I created the CRM application on the last video. And if you go to App Settings, Server Settings, and here on Core Settings, Kit Settings, you can scroll all the way down. You'll see Clone App. Once you click this, you can create a new app. So I'm going to name this CRM Copy. You can change the best parts version if you want to, and you can opt if you want to clone the database as well, and I'm going to do that. Once you click clone, it takes a couple of seconds. And there you go, now it's cloned and I can work on that copy instead. So to do that, I'm going to click on this drop down here. I'm going to refresh it. There you go. Now I have my CRM copy. And I can expand the database, see all my classes and all my records are in there. And I can also check if my web hosting is enabled. So I can go to App Settings, Server Settings, scroll down all the way to Web Hosting and Coastal Domains, click Settings. And this new app does not have the web hosting activated, so I'll need to activate it. And I'll leave it to CRM copy.b4a.app, click Save. And here I have my old application running. I can open a new tab and go to crm copy.b4a.app. And there you go. You can see my system is working. Now, if it doesn't work and you get an unauthorized error, you can always go back here to the Cloud Code section and check if all files were deployed. If not, you can just copy it from one project and manually paste it into the other one. Now, since it is working right now with crm copy.b4a.app, we can ask the MCP to start changing it. So let's open up Cursor, see if everything is still configured in there, and ask for some change. So here I am back at Cursor, where I always like to check if the connection to the MCP is still active. You can see that by this little green circle over here saying it is connected. If it's red and say it's not connected, you can always check if this enable button is green, and if it still won't connect, you can click this refresh button a few times until it does connect. Sometimes it happens, but most of the times I just come in here and it's all green. So I can start asking the MCP to do some changes. So in my Back4app account, there is an app named CRM Copy. In the cloud code for that app, there is a login screen. Please apply Bootstrap to that screen so it looks very professional. Please use gray and purple tones. And I'll hit enter and let's see if it is going to work. As always, you need to authorize every single operation that MCP does. You can expand here to see what is going to be done. So no parameters for get parse app. So let's run it. All right, it said it's finished, so let's try it out. So back here, I'm going to refresh the screen. And there you go, you can see it changing to purple. But this is basically a visual change. Can it also work on code? Let's investigate. Now, we barely scratched the surface of how powerful the Back4app MCP is. You can do practically any operation in it, especially if you plug it in with a very good AI model. In this case, I'm using Cloud 3.7 Sonnet, which is very, very good. So I can ask it to write cloud code functions and cloud code jobs for me. And this is what we're going to do right now. So as you can remember from the last chapter, we just changed the color on the front end. And now I need a new method implemented. I want to, every time a user logs in using this form, it gets logged into a login class that does not exist at the moment. We can see it here on our database. We don't have a login class right now. So I'm going to ask it to create the class and then tie it to the login form. So every time a user logs in, the user will show up in that table. So back to cursor, we're going to ask that app, please create a new class, name it login. Every time a user logs in, the username should be persisted in that table as a new record alongside with time the user logged in. Hit enter and let's see how it does. So there you go. It finished the code creation and even tested it for me. So there's a chance the record will still be there. So let's take a look. So if I come back here and I refresh the screen so I can retrieve the latest schema, here is my login form. And right now I don't have any because it probably deleted it after testing, but we can test it ourselves. So let's go to our system. And here it is, the second one, which is our testing one. And let's put our username here. So Alex K. We should actually refresh all this so we can get a new version. So Alex K and my password ABC123. And when I log in, there we go. Now let's inspect our dashboard again. If I just refresh this, and here it is, my username and the login time. So it just worked. You can use this for all sorts of operations, changing front end, for changing backend, creating cloud code, creating cloud code functions and cloud code jobs, and even administrative tasks. So the sky is the limit, and we got some more things in our sleeves. Now, if you remember from the beginning of this video, we're working on a copy application, and I always recommend that you do that because if you break something, it won't reach your production environment. But sometimes things can happen, and we can ask the MCP to roll back our code to a previously working version. So I just deployed this new code that tracks the login. Every time a user logs in, it gets a record in my login class. And let's suppose for some reason that broke my operation, and we can ask it to go back to a previous version where it worked. So let's come here and ask it. That isn't working as I expected. Please revert back to its previous version so it works again. Enter. So there you go. It removed the login class, and before removing it, it deleted all the records inside that class because you can only remove a class after removing all the records in it. And it said it rolled back my cloud code to a previous version. So let's try to refresh the screen and see how it went. So right here, I have my login class. If I just refresh the screen, my login class is missing right now. So let's go to our CRM copy and log out and refresh. And there we go. I still have the purple theme. So if I just enter my login again, it should not create the login class. So let's try again. Alex K and ABC123. If I just log in, I'm in. And back to my dashboard. If I refresh this, there's no login class created. So it worked as expected. I don't have that class anymore. So you can use this to develop your application in all possible scenarios and change it accordingly your needs. It's very, very powerful. And I really encourage you to try out all the instructions you can to achieve what you're looking for. But always remember, work in a separate application, which is a copy of your production. So never run this directly on production because you can potentially can break your production environment. We can always revert it back, but it's always better if you don't do it at first. So I really hope you like this content. If you do, please leave a like in this video and consider subscribing to the channel because we will have much more content about the Back4app MCP soon. See you soon. Bye bye.